Welcome back to the AB Scout Project. I'm Gregor, and this is Alpha Bravo. And today we're starting off with the Studio Series Bumblebee Ironhide. Of course, this is directly from the Ratchet mold. He looks pretty good. I still like how trim the figure is. A little bit of hollowness, but that's because you got to put his feet there in transformation. But otherwise, pretty good. Of course, he comes with the side swipe gun that all the Studio Series Autobots comes with. But anyway, we'll bring in Ratchet. And you see, side by side, they are pretty much the same. I mean, there is not really... Besides paint apps in the head, they are the exact same mold. So, let's go ahead and bring in our current winner for Ironhide, which is the Siege here. See, the Siege is quite a bit bigger. This one is pretty much the old deluxe size. So we want a little bit bigger Ironhide for G1 or IDW. So it's not really going to work because this is, off the Bumblebee movie, not an IDW or G1 look. So it kind of stands on its own. So we'll pull Ironhide out. We'll look at our last Ironhide. And then we'll say, let's look at the vehicle mode. And here we have the Bumblebee Ironhide in his vehicle mode, and it looks pretty good. I like the added touch of having the Vanette stripe homage on it. That's really nice. And of course the cannon mounts were the cannon mounts, just like on the Ratchet. Looks pretty good. I'll bring in the Ratchet, and they look, the same. I mean, there's no real discernible mold difference between the two. Just different paint applications. But overall, I still like the little pod vehicle. I mean, this looks alien, but still viable. I mean, I still like it. One more comparison, we'll look at the Siege here. And we see, again, quite a bit smaller. We'll line that up as I bump into everything. But yeah. And again, the Vanette stripes translated. So, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up. So, is this our new IDW G1? No, like I said earlier, the height and the look just isn't there. So, it is not new. So, but this is pretty much our only Bumblebee Ironhide. So, if you want the Bumblebee aesthetic, which I actually quite enjoy, then get this for your Ironhide. Alright, let's go on to an Ironhide that's actually going to be competitive. And that competitive Ironhide is the Studio Series 86. Now, I wasn't too sure about this one when I saw the initial renders, and I was just like, yeah, it doesn't look great. But actually, in hand, it actually looks really good. Trims up really good. I mean, some, little bit of baggage on the back, but not a whole lot. I mean, trying to get something from a generic robot into a van, I mean, there's a lot of work involved there. So, but it looks good. I mean, I like the head sculpt. Let's see if we can get a closer look at that. I actually really like that. I think they got the cartoon aesthetic really close. Not 100%, but I think the close as you're going to get with a toy. He comes with two of the generic Autobot guns, as I like to call them. And his stage, that's the ARC cockpit for extra trauma. But yeah, I think he looks really good. And we'll go ahead and bring in the Siege. And we see he is a smidge shorter. I don't think enough to throw off the scale. And actually, we bring in Optimus Prime here. We see that that's still very acceptable and still larger than the old deluxe scale. So, it still works scale-wise. Alright, let's go ahead and bring Siege back. And we'll go ahead and put Alpha Bravo back and bring in the Earthrise mold with the DK guard here. And so you just see a side by side comparison. And like I said, I complained about the chest on the Earthrise just because it was almost too rounded and large. I think the SS86 fixes that. You still get a good Vanette look, but still have squarish enough to make it look like the cartoon. And that's the main reason why I kept this. Kept the Siege. Was for the square window. And you see between the Siege head and the SS86, the SS86 is a lot better. It's a lot more round, a lot more of what we see in animation. So overall, I am really happy with this. So let's take a look at the vehicle mode. And here we have the Studio Series 86 Ironhide in its Vanette mode, and this just really impressed me. I mean, it looks great. The back cleans up into a nice Vanette. It looks really good. You have your gun storage on top. And overall, I'm just really happy with this. Let's go ahead and set Alpha back, and we'll bring in the Earthrise mold. And we see Vanette, not quite Vanette. And of course, this was adapted from the Siege, so we know that. But then looking at the back, we see this has no giant feet sticking in the back. Yeah, people made kits to be able to change that, but this is stock out of the box, looking pretty good. There is some tab up problems, but otherwise, not bad at all. Bring in the current winner, the Siege, and we see, yeah, this is a much better G1 representation of Ironhide. I mean, and I realized, my Siege is carrying around a lot of baggage. Anyway, we'll do a quick 360 on these guys, just as how you see how totally different. You still see the back of their heads on both of them. It's a little less clear with the Studio Series 86, but you still see the back of their heads. Anyway. And just really, aside from a couple whiffs of Siege, this is totally new engineering, so it's really nice. So, let's get to our final thoughts. So, is this our new IDW G1 Ironhide? Yes, definitely yes. I mean, the scale's great, the look is spot on. I love it. I think this is the Ironhide we've been waiting for since 1984. This is great. Now, the only problem, if you want to call it a problem, is that there's no extra combat system ports anywhere. So I can't really transfer anything from the old Siege to the new one. The only thing I probably would take is the drill. So we'll take Siege out of the way. And I guess we can kind of, can't really feed the... the fists don't go all the way through, so we can't really feed it underneath. So the drill will just have to set aside as he carries his double generic guns. Just a quick break in here from editing. I did find out you can put the drill on because you can store the guns on his back here, on these tabs here. So that's a really neat feature, so that he can still have his drill and his gun and his other gun and still work great. All right, back to the video. All right, let's call it good. So that's it for today. We got a Bumblebee Ironhide and a brand new G1 IDW Ironhide. So, thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. If there's a character you'd like to see, put your request in the comments below, although there aren't too many left. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and we'll see y'all later.